boys, I like a hoe just as much as the next man, but you do not need a hoe as your main girl. You don't want a hoe as your main girl. You don't want a bad girl. You want a girl that's going to improve your life. So here's 6 red flags to watch out for with women when you're on your first few dates, so you make sure you're getting a princess rather than a dragon. Without further ado, boys, let's get into the video. Here we go, chaps. 6 modern women red flags. You need to know these. You need to be armed and ready when you're out in the dating world, because it's a snake pit out there. It's full of some animals. I've seen some crazy things happening lately, as of late. So I'm going to get you boys clued up. And the reason why we need to know this is for the following reason. Success factor. Your woman is a very large contributor to your success. A man's choice of woman will determine a lot in his life. If you are the kind of guy that is getting into a relationship with a woman, if you're just banging chicks here and there and you're staying, doing your stuff, doing your grind, you'll be fine. She's not going to have too much control or influence on your life. But for the majority of men, when they find a girlfriend, it's somebody they spend the most amount of time with. And as we all know, you become like the person you spend the most time with. So if she is a fucking bitch, she's going to ruin your life. So you need to be able to know in the dating stage and not get clouded eyes. Don't get clouded by the pussy, because they'll do that. There's a smell about it. There's a pheromone about it, where suddenly you're in the presence of a beautiful woman and you start thinking, oh yeah, she's amazing. And you're looking at life through rose-tinted shades. I'm going to bring you back to reality. Here's some things you can't miss. You cannot miss these red flags. They will stick out like a sore thumb after you know them, and now you're going to be protected. So you're going to choose a good woman who will influence your happiness and your life in a positive way, make you more successful, give you the catalyst for success in your life. So let's get straight into this, boys. Number 6, bitching. Massively overlooked one. I've done it before as well. When you first meet a beautiful girl, if she's just talking to you, for a lot of guys, if she's just talking to you on a date, you're like, oh fuck, this is going well. I don't really give a fuck what she's saying. I just am happy she's talking to me, and maybe I'll get some pum-pum at the end of the night. Well, you need to stop thinking like that. That's beta as fuck. If she bitches about work, bitches about her mum, bitches about her friends, it's going to make you feel kind of special that she's sharing these issues with you, and you'll be like, oh yeah, well, you should stop talking to Sally. She sounds horrible. She's a bitch. And you'll start advising her and chatting with her about it, and you'll feel pretty good. You'll be like, oh yeah, it's good. We got on well. I had a chat with a bitch. Brilliant. This is a huge problem. The reason why is because if she's bitching about all of this, as soon as she leaves you, she's going to be bitching about you. So you got to see, how does she treat other people? It's the easiest way to know how she's going to treat you when you guys break up or something bad happens. So, for example, you're sitting with a girl and she tells you a story about work. She says, well, oh, this girl, she screwed me over a little bit and she stole my work, but I understand, like, I can't get too angry at her. That's a good girl, because she has some sort of, what's the word? She's rational. If she's rational about arguments with other people around you, you know that if you ever have a breakup or an argument, she's going to be rational with you. But if she's being a complete bitch and totally irrational with everyone else, you can guarantee when you guys break up, she's going to be fucking hell. So you got to watch out for this one. I only ever really go for girls that are super nice and kind about everybody else. They don't hold grudges. They're not particularly bad, even if somebody screwed them over in the past. They're not resentful. You have to notice that stuff, because one day, guaranteed, boys, you'll be that guy. And when she decides to leave and turn your life upside down, you'll be fucking upset about it. So, number 1, bitching. It's a very big red flag. Number 5, past trauma, bad exes. We're not fucking making Captain Save-A-Ho in here. I don't know where I heard that, but that's fucking brilliant. Captain Save-A-Ho. Don't be Captain Save-A-Ho, alright? It's not your job. It's not your job to repair women. It's not your job to show that woman that not all men are bad, because a lot of girls do that. I hate men now. I don't like men anymore because they're all dicks. And then this nice, sweet guy on one of his first ever dates goes, don't worry, I'll show you not all men are like that. Bam! She'll tear you apart with her claws, man. I'm sorry, but it's true. You don't need to be that guy. If she's coming in with bad trauma, bad exes, all of these stories, trying to make you feel sorry for her, trying to say men are bad, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not saying all women be like this. They won't. This is just a big red flags. If that's happening, it's time to dip, boys. There's so many girls out there that are sweet, that are beautiful, that are kind, that haven't got a load of baggage with them. It's not your job to save a hoe, all right? Number 5, past trauma, bad exes. Run for the hills, my son. Number 4, party girls. if you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later, you're going to get a haircut. And the same applies for party girls. If they're hanging around the club long enough, sooner or later, they're going to get fucked. And that is what's happened time and time again. Girls are not out there, boys, to fucking have a dance with their friends every weekend. They're there for attention from other men, okay? So if you're with a party girl, she's been a party girl for a while, she wants to continue being a party girl, she is not the kind of girl you want to try and nail down or have as a girlfriend, because she's going to cause you a lot of trouble, a lot of heartache, a lot of pain. Find a sleep with party girls. We all love a party girl every now and again. They can be great fun. Keep them in the phone. Call them up when you go to the club. No problem, that's fine. And be nice to them, be friends with them. But just don't try and make a girl that's in her party stage become your girlfriend, because it's going to be an uphill battle. Occasionally you can do it, but she's got to be down. If you say to her, look, I'd love to get sort of serious with you, but you party way too much, and she instantly goes, I'll never party again because I love you and I only want to see you, then maybe you've got an option there. But if she's at all apprehensive, like, you can't stop me partying, don't even try, boys. Don't even try. Just be like, yeah, it's all right. See you later. I can't take you serious now. Bang. You move on to the next one. Okay? So number 4, party girls, avoid. Number 3, feminists, vegans, hippies. These aren't the worst in the world, I'll be honest with you, and I genuinely don't have too much of an issue with any of these. And the reason why is because the majority of girls that are on these wavelengths they just don't have anything to believe in. They don't have a strong figure to follow. They haven't had a strong boyfriend, or maybe they don't have a strong father figure that's taught them stuff. So they've kind of picked up just a weird identity along the way, like being a hippie or a vegan or a feminist. In my opinion, all those are weird. Maybe you don't think so. I don't really care. For me, those are all pretty weird. Every time I meet someone that's in this category, there's something a little bit wrong with them. It's like, it's not the fact that they're a feminist, vegan, or a hippie. There's something behind the scenes going on. So it's always a big red flag for me if they're one of these, any of these about. So be careful. But they're not the worst in the world. They can be turned around. Occasionally you'll find a girl, she's a vegan, and she just doesn't understand the benefits of eating pure red meat. And then you just tell her, and she loves you enough to be like, okay, yeah, I'll throw the vegan stuff aside now. I'll listen to you. Fine, great girl. Same with hippies. I don't have a huge issue with hippies. They're just not really my type. Personally, they're believing in kind of a lot of mumbo jumbo. And if that's related with sort of a lot of drug taking as well, that can just be, it's kind of just like a bit of a hedonistic lifestyle, really, for creating an excuse for why they're not actually doing anything pure with their lives. So again, you can turn these girls around, but for me, I avoid. I believe it to be a bit of a red flag. Number 2, extreme jealousy. You cannot win with this kind of woman, and I've had them before. We want a little bit of jealousy in a relationship. You don't want her to be like encouraging you to go and fuck other girls, because then you're like, oh, maybe she doesn't like me, or maybe she's got some other guys on the go. But you want a bit of jealousy, but you can't have extreme jealousy. And this kind of stuff is like, she goes in your car after you've been in there and you've not noticed, but she's gone in there and she's looking for hairs of like other girls. So she's going through the bed like looking for hairs in different colours, and she's checking your receipts and pulling them out of the bin and reading where you've been. That kind of jealousy you cannot beat, because she will always, whether you're cheating or not, whether you're seeing other girls or not, she's always going to have something in her mind that you are, and she's going to find a way to fucking have arguments with you. So extreme jealousy must be left behind. And then the next one is number 1. It's the easiest way to identify a woman that is probably going to be trouble. And I'll explain the reasons why. It's tattoos. A girl that's covered in tattoos. And the reason why is, I'll break it down for you now. What father wants their daughter to be covered in tattoos? Answer that question to yourself now. The answer is none. There's not a single dad on the planet who wants their daughter, their beautiful princess, to go and get covered in tats. I don't think there's any that really wants that for their daughter. Which means in order for her to be covered in tattoos, she's had an issue with the relationship with her father. If she didn't listen to her dad and she didn't value her dad's opinion, it's very unlikely in a relationship she's going to listen to you or value your opinion. That's the main issue with tattoos. Obviously, it doesn't work 100% of the time, but 99% of the time, if you see a girl that is covered in tattoos, doesn't mean she's not nice. Doesn't mean you can't be friends with her, doesn't mean you can't sleep with her, but it probably should mean that you don't wife her up, boys, if she's covered in tats. And that is the reason why. You're probably looking at some daddy issues, you're probably looking at some issues with authority or listening to you further down and along in the relationship. And if you're running a relationship like me, having a girl listen to you is very, very important. You want to guide them, look after them, have them look out for you. Them listening to what you say as the head of the ship, as the captain of the ship, is very important in that dynamic. So boys, there you go. Hopefully save some of your skin. Hopefully save some of you guys from getting into relationships with girls that you shouldn't be in relationships with. Girls, I'm sorry if I've annoyed you, if I've pissed some of you off that are covered in tattoos. Don't worry. Drop me a DM if you're pissed off at Jack Hot Fitness. Just drop me a DM, especially if you're tattooed as well. There's no reason why we can't still get together, go for dinner. I'm not going to make you my wife, but doesn't mean we can't have fun. Same for feminists, vegans, all of those. Any women, I'm up for trying. So hit me in the DMs, boys. It's been a pleasure. If you want to, if you want to connect with me and you want to join our network, New Elite, we're all G's. Check out the New Elite. In the link below is our gentleman's club, the New Elite. Apart from that, boys, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you on the next one. Whopper!